Well, it's the eve of the much-awaited India Premier League. It's about 5 months delayed. It's taking place in the United Arab Emirates, not in India. But hey, it is a story of how determination and the lure of not missing out on mega bucks can push organizations to ensure that they deliver what they have promised. Yes, the India Premier League will be held under very strange circumstances. It's in the middle of a coronavirus pandemic. India is dealing with its own surge in cases and needs to be entertained. Lo and behold, the IPL will take place from tomorrow. The business of IPL, which is estimated to be about 5,000 crores per year, will be hit to some extent, but not as badly. There are estimates that BCCI may lose up to 30% of revenues, but they will make up because they don't really have to pay for any stadiums. Will the whole experience be the same without any people in the stadium, no cheering squads? The players and all of the teams will have to be in a sort of bubble to make sure that they are absolutely safe. To talk about this very new avatar of the IPL and what it holds for the future, I am joined today by former cricketer Atul Vasan and brand guru Harish Bijur. Welcome to both of you and thank you for speaking with us today. Now, this is a story we've consistently followed on the show right from when, Vivo pulled out as the brand sponsor. The IPL faced one hurdle after the other, but has managed to get to this stage. Atul, I want to get your take first about what kind of an experience this will be for viewers and what it really means that despite all the odds, we are having an IPL this year.
Yes, and in spite of all the opposition to it, and there were a lot of varied views whether we should be playing cricket and all. And then, if you remember, my argument was that if everything else is opening, when gyms are opening, hotels are opening, then why not cricketers get a chance to resurrect some kind of career, whatever for this year should not go waste. The experience, what is in store for viewers at home, I am not actually going to fuss about that too much. Yes, it won't be the same as we are used to. We like this ambience and we like to see the expressions, and that is part and parcel of IPL. So maybe when I compare what I've seen so far in England, the 2-3 series that have happened against West Indies, Pakistan, Australia, and that was serious cricket. When I say serious, means test cricket and one-day cricket, where more focus is on the strategy and on the game. But in IPL, the jury is still out. How are we going to handle it? Because, in Test cricket and ODI cricket, a lot of intricacies and there's a lot of purity in the game. But IPL is a product where cricket is part of that product, and the product also has a part of ambience and crowds. So it might not be just the same, but I will live with whatever I get at this point.
Harish, even the BCCI and Star India and all the stakeholders have to live with whatever they get at this point in terms of sponsorship and revenues coming on board. I mean, a lot is invested into the IPL year on year. But when you tabulate it all, they haven't done too badly. There are a host of brands coming in. How do you look at it?
Yeah, I think if you look at IPL 2020, it's a typical Bollywood filmy story because, it's had its ups and downs. The first question was to be or not to be. That itself was debated to death. And finally, it went on and, the China issue happened, the Chinese sponsor issue happened. So ups and downs of every kind out there. And finally, with many of the teams testing, many of the members COVID positive. And, I would still say picture abhi baki hai, for sure. But economically speaking, and speaking in terms of saying, the revival format of the Indian economy, I do believe that a whole host of marketers are going to depend on the IPL to create positive vibes for brands. Because one of the missing vibes in the market is positive vibes. People aren't buying as much as they were buying. People are reducing consumption. People are postponing purchases. Can the IPL reverse that? Can the IPL create a positive brand mojo for most of the brands which have gone into a bit of a shell? So I see three things doing it. One is IPL, if it can revive sentiment. Second is e-commerce, because everything is going into homes now, and e-commerce is at the right place at the right point of time. And the third is the festival season. If these three things can't revive market mojo, I don't know what will.
No, but Harish, I want you to elaborate on that a bit. Isn't it a bit far-fetched to expect the IPL to change sentiment of the Indian consumer? Yes, it will entertain for sure. It might be a better distraction than whatever else is the current distraction right now. But to actually boost people's mood to go out and spend more, why do you see that link happening?
Well, I think, there is a certain psychological reason behind sports which you enjoy so much as you do with cricket. Cricket is actually a mood enhancer, and there are enough studies out there. In fact, I've personally done one study, authored one study on the way cricket grabs sentiment and takes it to a high. Cricket, to an extent, is escapism. It's as good as a Bollywood film which you would watch, or get lost into a movie for 3 hours like that. You get lost into a game for several hours. And those of us who believe that this is pure cricket, I think we're totally wrong. IPL is not pure cricket. IPL, and those of us who believe that it's only entertainment, that's not true as well. IPL is not only cricket and not pure cricket. It's not only entertainment, but it's money as well, because it actually drives market eyeballs. Look at it this way. Over the last 6 months, if you really look at vehicles which have provided positive spin for brands to be able to spin their story, I mean, I can't think of any vehicle out there. The first one that's happening is live content cricket with IPL. Now, what does it do? It enthuses people to say, oh my God, it's a great thing. IPL, with its advertising itself, hopefully will do a spin on that. And over a period of time, people tend to say, hey, listen, if people are playing cricket, if there's a positive sentiment going around there, I think things are getting back to normal. Because please remember, we pushed the situation into the abnormal. We had a series of lockdowns which told us that life is totally abnormal. In abnormal times, people don't like to spend. Now, it's time to bring normalcy back. And you need vehicles which will bring normalcy back. Possibly, IPL is one of those vehicles. E-commerce, festivity, and festival time sales, yet another 2 vehicles out there. And I do believe all 3 will do exceedingly well. IPL, yeah, it's lost monies, but then, viewers have lost monies as well. Everybody has taken a haircut. IPL jolly will take a haircut. Secondly, e-commerce. I think e-commerce will bounce back in a big way because there are locked in monies.
Our MPs have taken a haircut. Even they are going to get... Yes. No, I was saying that everyone has taken a haircut. Our MPs will be getting 30% less pay, and there's a bill being debated on that. So yes, for IPL, it's really the new normal. Atul Vasan, I just want to get your take about IPL's the spirit of being back to normal. I mean, it's anything but normal. This is going to be in a biosecurity bubble for players from the perspective of people inside the IPL. How strange are these times going to be, and how challenging will it be?
It is. There's no doubt about it. First of all, let me tell you that I've been cutting my own hair. So, so that's the scenario. And Harish has equated the IPL match to a Bollywood movie and all that. God forbid if any movie which is scripted is compared to a live cricket match. That should not happen in a million years. But I get the context he's driving at. But I must say, at the same point, this bio bubble has been tested. And I think if this is the best option, what else is there? Either we just sit in our homes, lock the gates, and then just wait for this to go over. It might take... In March, we thought this will be over in 2 months. And now even Bill Gates is saying it might be 2022. So, we're just trying to claw out of this thing, and we're trying to find some normalcy life. And then we can say, yeah, how many people are dying? Maybe 2%, where doctors know how to treat it better. Yes. So for that, just to stop everything is also foolhardy, because more people will die of hunger and loss of jobs than COVID in itself. So I think the earlier lockdown was very, very intelligent move, because the infrastructure got ready. With it. But now the sporting way, the European football showed us the way. And the bubble series is that because of Dubai was the best option. If you remember, I was the first guy to say, if ever IPL is going to happen, it's going to be in Dubai, because you've got 3 grounds there. So you can create a bio bubble most effectively in a place like Dubai. The teams go from one hotel to the ground in a bus, and you can be contained in that bio bubble. That's why even in series in England was happening in Southampton and Old Trafford, because these 2 grounds had 5-star hotels inside the premises. So the players could live in a bio bubble, but it's very stressing time for the players. We should forget about the loss of action for maybe people who were turning out at the grounds, but there is million times more people watching from home. So actually that loss of revenue is not too much because you can make up. But for the players to live in a bubble, not meet their near and dear ones. If near and dear ones want to be there, they have to be in the bubble as well. You can't go to the mall, you can't go out for dinner, you can't meet new people. You have to live within that. So that is going to be very stressing a part of the whole thing. And a lot of players who are not very mentally strong, their game might be affected as well. As it is, they are coming out of a long lockdown. They are rusted. They have not been tested in competitive conditions. And on top of this, the stress of performing and being in the bubble could be a difficult thing to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be a challenging time all around, but I think the key takeaway is that the IPL making it despite all odds tell us that yes, we are ready to move back to whatever version of normalcy this situation can afford us. So on that note, thank you to both of you for joining us on this segment of the show, and to all our viewers out there, thank you for tuning in today. Go out there, enjoy the IPL, but at the same time, don't forget to come back on Monday and watch the India Development Debate.